what you saw versus what they were going through. So for this pile here, we're going to have a look at what did you see, feel, and understand about this connection. So Spirit, may we have a look for the viewer? What did they see, feel, and understand about this connection? What did they see, feel, and understand about this connection? For the viewer, we've got the star. And then for this pile, we're going to have a look at what they were going through. So what was going on from their side of the story? From their side of the story, please. The person that the viewer is thinking about, what was happening from their side of the story. So for those of you who are interested, same-day readings are available, as is a glimpse into 2026, where we look at the highlights of 2026 for you. So we've got the 10 of Swords showing up for them. Interesting story. So what you saw coming through as the star is actually very, very telling. This card traditionally talks about hope and possibility. It talks about the dream. So maybe this person felt like a wish come true. They represented the best version of something that maybe you've been calling in for a long time. And I feel like you saw them in this higher light. Not just who they were in this moment, but who they could become. That potential. So the version of them that was still on the rise. Whenever I see this particular card, I think of the North Star when I see this particular star up here. And that vision was probably clear to you, even when they couldn't see it within themselves. And yet there's something within this particular edition of the star card that doesn't feel entirely joyful. The little girl's face here, it always looks so sorrowful to me. You know, she's someone who holds this, she's very beautiful, and her expression is very striking. It almost feels haunting to me. So with that, there also could be an energy of other lifetimes that you feel connected to this person. The other thing that really stands out to me are these surrounding birch trees. These silver birches, now they're very beautiful. However, within this particular card, they look almost isolating. It looks like a very lonely picture to me when I look at this. So maybe that's what you were picking up from them, this sense of loneliness. And maybe that's something that you recognized in them because that was something that you had experienced yourself. The other thing in this picture is the little boat that is woven at the bottom of her dress. Now, when we see water within tarot, it talks about emotions. So again, you're able to pick up on their emotions. It is suggesting that you could also see something on the horizon, so maybe a bigger picture for them. And it also could talk about distance, so maybe there was travel and distance between the both of you. So essentially, what I feel that you saw in this person was them in their highest form, the highest light, but you also picked up on something a lot deeper. So this particular version of the star, it is not all brightness and joy. It really isn't. There seems to be this undercurrent of sadness, maybe even loneliness, and it feels like you saw that within them. You recognize their pain, and maybe you could hold this vision of something that was going to be better for them. Now, from their perspective, from their side of the story, the 10 of Swords shows up, and this is never a pleasant card, really. Within the image, we can see that there is this woman, and she does look very, very sad. And with it, there's all these 10 hands, each with a needle pointing into her hair. And when I saw that, the word nitpicking came to my mind, as if someone has been picked apart, has been criticized, has been judged. Now, this could be by other people, or this may be even by their own inner voice. So this is often a card where it talks about feeling overwhelmed in the moment. It is also talking about something coming to an end. So this criticism, maybe being able to shed it at some point. Now, I also feel that they saw you as the star here, as someone who is very influential in their life and who brought a lot of light to their life when they were in this moment. So the sad thing about this particular card is that this person might reject the most loving connection, not because they don't feel it, but maybe because they don't feel worthy of it in this moment. Let's pull another card for each. So from what did you see? You saw the Ace of Wands, and from their perspective, we have got the Three of Cups. Interesting cards. So this Ace of Wands, again, this is talking about that higher energy. You felt this spark of energy towards them, a spark of what they could be. With this card, you saw their raw potential, and maybe you saw that there was a way for them to have a new beginning. So you saw their light, you saw their passion. This is a deeply sensual card. Like I say, it talks about chemistry, it talks about magnetism, and it also speaks to inspiration. So maybe you were inspired by them or vice versa. And it feels like there could have been a spark that could have lit a whole new life between the both of you. From their perspective, we have this Three of Cups. Now, the Three of Cups can certainly speak about joy and love and happiness and friendship. But it can also, in its modern day translation, talk about a third party situation. Now, third party isn't always three people, although frequently it is. But it can talk about any stumbling block between you, whether that be distance, whether that be age, whether that be gender, whether that be anything, work, family, all of this. Here's what stands out to me the most within this card. It's these hoops. So there's this energy of having to jump through hoops. So from their perspective, it feels like this connection, it came with complications. So whether that was timing or distance or other people, or even this inner turmoil, it seems that they were very focused on the logistics, especially when we pair this with the Ten of Swords. So trying to figure out how this would all work rather than simply allowing themselves to feel it. So there's this deep emotional weight, there's this criticism and possibly overwhelm, and possibly they felt like everything had to align perfectly or else it wouldn't match up. Now, if we look closely, we can see on these hoops that there are these intersecting points. It's almost like they wanted to make everything work, but they couldn't quite get something about this right. Let's pull another card for each. So from your perspective, we've got the Two of Pentacles, and from their perspective, we have got the Emperor. So from your perspective, you're showing up as this Two of Pentacles. You know, you're trying to keep everything balanced, trying to hold steady even when circumstances weren't really simple. And what's really interesting is that in this version, you can see that the coins are actually quite well balanced. You aren't actually dropping anything. And, you know, look at where you are. You're standing on this rock, impossibly high in the sky, trying to juggle all of this from a place that felt quite unstable or elevated beyond what was realistic. So that already tells a story that you are willing to stretch yourself, to elevate yourself, to hold this emotional weight of this connection, even when the ground beneath you wasn't secure. And then the strangest thing within this card is actually this sunflower with this enormous beady eye at the center here. And so it's impossible to miss. There's this sense of being watched or of being observed, of someone keeping tabs on you, whether that's energetically or emotionally, or even from a distance in the physical world. So this could have shown up as someone, you know, tuning into your energy. This could be someone watching you on social media, or this could be simply sensing that your actions and your choices and your emotional state were being monitored by this person in some way. So from your side of the story, it feels like you were holding a lot together, that you were doing your part, you were adapting, you were balancing, you were trying. And, you know, you felt like others were watching you with this. So it's powerful contrast to how overwhelmed they appear on their side of the reading. Now, I would say from their point of view, this connection stirred up far more emotion and pressure than maybe they let on. With the Emperor, they likely tried to maintain some sort of composed exterior. Someone who appears in control or maybe unbothered. Someone who's steady. But, if we place it next to this Ten of Swords and this Three of Cups, what becomes clear is that this composure may have been a little bit of a mask. So internally, they were dealing with a lot, maybe feeling emotionally picked apart, maybe under pressure, or like they were trying to live up to many expectations with this card from too many angles. With this Three of Cups, this joy, this connection, this friendship, but there's also possibly these complications. So there could have been other people, other obligations, a lot of tangled emotions in the mix that made this situation more difficult than they maybe admitted. So the hoops in the image, they speak volumes, as if they're trying to jump through all of them to make everyone happy and then really never showing up for you in the way that they ought to have. So while you might have seen the potential in them, as the star, and certainly this raw creative energy between the both of you, they might have only ever shown you the kind of like the exterior, not really what was going on in their inner world. So looking at the whole picture here, it's clear that you saw the potential in this person. You saw the light in them, the passion, the higher path, maybe even connected to their higher self. And they were very much caught up in the logistical side of it, the complexity, the pressure. And I do feel like there was a huge emotional connection between the both of you. But they seem to be battling these internal wounds and this outside interference, maybe even a fear of vulnerability. So the story from their side is quite layered. And it's quite possible that you still feel the pull between you, and you might wonder whether there's something that's shifted beneath the surface. So if you'd ever like to explore the current dynamics between you and this person, or see what's changed since then I offer same-day readings, and the link to that is within my bio. As I mentioned earlier, I also offer an in-depth 2026 forecast where we look at love, we look at relationships, we look at career, finances, and then we go month by month into the main themes for you, and that's linked in my bio also. Finally, if you'd like to deepen your gifts, then I am taking on a handful of students for in-person mentorship this February in the UK, and that is by application, or you can send me a message and we can discuss that together.